G'day guys, and welcome to another Pod TV. It's a lovely Wednesday evening and I have a sick wife vomiting and I've got the twins down, so that's why I'm a little bit late. So I'm going to keep this short. I've actually broken this one up tonight into 2 to 3 parts, and tonight we're going to be I'm talking I guess to new grads and established pods, but then to bosses as well, and it's why you should hire a new grad. There's a lot of people who talk about why they shouldn't, or their concerns why they don't. So we're going to touch on a few of those, maybe the more positive things that we can talk about. So looking forward to this. But just before, just some final admin. Everyone, I'll be sending out, anyone who came to courses, I'll be sending or resending your certificates so that if you have misplaced it or anything, you'll get a new copy of that. So you can file that away. So that should help everyone just gather up their CPD for the year. Apart from that, I think that's it for the year. We've finished all our courses, which is very exciting. And so to transition into 2020 mode, guys, we're about to actually open ticket sales for courses in early next year. So jump on the podiatry17.com page, and that page has our calendar, which we're refining, and then there'll be courses listed which will open up, and obviously we'll announce it. We're going to do something a little bit different. Thanks for some suggestions. Shout out to Nancy, who's helped sort of give some really good, up-to-date, refreshing ones, but we're going to start actually creating event groups, so you can join on that if you're interested, and then easily find those ticket sale options. Apart from that, guys, like our Instagram and then YouTube, and this will be on YouTube later. So I'll do the live and then I will post it through YouTube. So looking forward to doing that for everyone. Okay, let's talk about why you should hire a new grad and some of the things of why people don't. I'm going to start with the negatives first, really quickly. Some of the negatives are they're not experienced. You don't know what you're going to get, which I think is anyone. You need someone that you can sort of leave and work in isolation independently. They don't have that knowledge. They're not experienced, but they don't have that knowledge to manage their cases. And like things like you'll have to train them, and they might not have skill sets like dry needling and foot mobilization. So there's some really brief things, and look, some of those are really valid in a lot of circumstances. But I want to talk about why we should. And just before we jump in, the one big thing is why people don't, and I don't want people to have this idea of, I need to hire a new grad because new grads are cheap. There is no reason why a new grad can't come out and negotiate, and why as an owner or a business owner shouldn't give them the chance to negotiate their own contract and actually give them a little bit of a chance to show you what they're worth or what they think they're worth. And then, they've got to prove that if they claim the big ones or anything like that. So let's not just go, because they're cheap, that's the best way to hire them, and let's change that thought process a bit. Sorry, I'm just readjusting my notes here on the page to try and, there we go, a little bit more light on the screen. So that's one of the big things. So let them do that. So let's not let pay be the big driving point. Let's talk about some of the first things, experience. So yes, they don't have experience. So I remember writing my first resume, and this is a really important one, good tip for new grads. Writing my first resume, I wrote all this stuff, and you write all the crap from when you're at school. Stuff, I was in this team for sport, and I did this group, and this and that. But what you really need to write is stuff that's specific to the job you're applying for. And I spoke to a friend, and I'll give her a shout out, Steph. I talked to you about resume, and who's having a baby soon, so congratulations. But Steph sort of went, no, you don't need that stuff, and she showed me what she'd done. I was like, oh my god, I've got all this crap. So I removed it all, and I wrote something more specific, and ended up being a 2-page system, a 1-page cover letter, and then a very, very basic 1-page resume. It wasn't even 1 page because I actually had limited professional experience. But taking the step beyond that, remember that volunteering, sporting team experience, student organisation clubs and stuff, those are skills and experience in themselves that can translate easily into job roles. Things like leadership, working in a team. They're two big things that I hear a lot of that people want from their new grads. So have a look when you write your resume, guys. Write things down that you think does have transferable skills, and then business owners look for those things because that is experience. That's what you're paying for. Even if you're only paying them a new graduate fee, it's probably 3 times more than they've ever been paid. That's a really important point. So experience isn't just they need to have podiatry experience or medical experience. Experience can come from anywhere and be transferred very easily into the job role they're possibly going to have. This is my next point is that this is a new generation, and this is a generation of learners. So what we're seeing is people are able to access knowledge and information quicker than they ever have before, and people have more of an idea about everything rather than narrow-minded. So give people the chance to learn. I think that's a really important one. Is if you get a graduate who comes in, they want to do this, and you mentor them correctly, which is a whole nother discussion, down, and they find their pathway. If you give them the opportunity to learn, new graduates will take that on board really, really strongly, and you'll teach them to have a really good culture of learning. If you create a negative connotation about learning, people won't be very happy about that, and they'll learn to dislike it, and it becomes a chore. So remember that you get a new grad, you get a learning culture because they're coming straight out of university. I can say it openly, I'm not as prime to the idea of going and studying something else now. When I was at uni, I considered, do I go on to do medicine? Do I go on to do a master's? Do I go on to do something else, rehabilitation degree or something like that? So it's something you got to capture really, really early. Third point is don't expect immediate performance. I think this is a really big one. I think you've got to give them time to develop and have your expectations set correctly, or the business's expectations set correctly on them. But also, as a new graduate, don't have your expectations set too high and expect yourself to perform, even if you think you're getting all this mentoring and everything like that. It might not be the time that you need to go gangbusters, and you might end up disappointing yourself. So don't set yourself up to fail, and really remember that you will perform when you take the task on and complete the task 100%. So let's just remember that. Don't expect immediate performance. Okay, and I'm not saying they won't complete their job normally, but don't expect, above the bar. Performance is the word. I'm not just saying completing your fundamentals, I'm talking about performance. So really important stuff there. Remember, there's a little side thing I thought about. New grads have very minimal commitments in most circumstances. Not saying everyone, but a lot of them, out of school, into uni, or a couple of years and then into uni, a lot of them don't have a mortgage. They won't have children. So you can weigh those things in, and they, probably not playing professional or amateur sport, so they're going to actually have the time to give to growth and professional develop, and they're going to come out suddenly with this thrive to learn and earn, professionally and emotionally and intelligence as well as in their role, as well, and get a reflux of financial benefit from those things as well. So that's a really good hint for new grads as well. Remember, guys, you don't have as much commitment, so you can throw yourselves into a job really well and take those first couple of years really to cement yourself up. And that's that 300% curve where they talk about learning in those first years. So just to go back, we went, remember, experience comes from all different things. And when you write a resume, you can write things like clubs and organisations in there that you've worked with that bring things like leadership across. Don't expect immediate performance. Remember, new grads a lot of the time don't have commitment, so they can give a lot to your business and a lot of time because they'll want to earn their space in the business. Not everyone is suited for the job immediately, so you might get someone who you want to do high risk, but they're coming out of the public system into a private system. It might take them time to roll over. So you once again, don't expect that immediate performance, but remember that not everyone's going to suit perfectly from one role to the other, and a business is a different sort of role as well. So you've got to give them time to grow into that role, and that will change from wherever you are. But if you're encouraging them to grow, they'll work through that. Offer continuous education and growth opportunities. And if you do that as a business owner when you graduate, you can expect outcomes. And you can expect outcomes in a reasonable period of time if you apply that diarised mentorship to them, because it's a two-way street. Too many people probably stuff this up at both ends I'm talking about. I'm not pointing the finger here. If your boss is giving you opportunity and saying, hey, I want to send you to this course and this course, and it's pushing you in a straight line into a role, and you want that, then you've got to show that you've either got high conversion rates, or you're not missing your retention rates, you're not missing your notes, you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. And then if that's not working from the business point of view, they're going to stop giving you those opportunities, and you can't sit there and whinge about it, because when you go and meet with them and ask them why, they're going to tell you because you didn't perform. So offer the education position. Don't undercut people. Diarise it and then expect outcomes, because it's a two-way street. And then the last point I'm going to make tonight is fresh ideas. New graduates will bring fresh ideas, the latest research, because they've just come out of university, which is research-driven, and it's just a fresh perspective. Social media boomed. And if you've never didn't touch social media and suddenly comes in, someone goes, hey, we can get on this, and it's free marketing, and you might as well just do it a little bit, and even if we're only posting once or twice a week, that can make your business grow from another complete aspect that you've never touched for. So part one's done. I super encourage everyone to watch this 2-3 part series and to get involved and hire new graduates if you're in that position and it's suitable for your business. And don't shy away from it from superficial things like they don't have the experience, or hiring them for the reason, they're cheap. Because if you buy the cheap stuff, you get cheap outcomes sometimes. You've got to be willing to support them through and give them the growth opportunities and give them the time to grow as well. So remember, guys, podiatry17 17.com. So podiatry 17, podiatry17.com has our calendar. We'll be launching courses ticket sales soon. Our Instagram, and then our YouTube page, where this will be after I finish up here. I'll post it up there for you all. So thanks again for tuning in. Can't wait to see you guys next week for part 2 of why you should hire a new graduate, and we'll go through some other points there. Otherwise, you guys have yourself a great week, and I'll talk to you all very soon.